I'm gonna miss him. I miss you, Jackman. You always be my man.
What's going on, guys? Here we are. We just saw Logan. Well, saw it last night.
Saw it last night. This is our review for it.
This is our review. So, a lot to talk about.
Yes.
This movie, I'm just gonna say it flat out, one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Yes.
Not only is it to me the best X-Men movie, but definitely in the top 5 superhero movies I've ever watched.
Well,
awesome.
Well, it is a superhero. We consider it as a superhero movie.
Of course, it's a superhero movie.
It's so.
He's a superhero. He's a comic book character.
It's so to heart. The movie. It's
so realistic and gritty, but at the same time, you know, you're like, okay, this is like Wolverine. This is a comic book hero.
Yes, exactly.
But man, it just did such a great job of sending, you know, Hugh Jackman away.
Yes.
In this
By
awesome role.
A performance, best performance I've seen him so far do in all the movies.
Amazing.
Yes. Of all the 9 installments, he's done this. It's crazy. It was just one of those fucking, because you know it's his last movie.
Yeah. He wanted to do it right.
He wanted to do it right, and he did it so fucking perfect.
He took a pay cut to make sure his movie was rated R, because he wanted to give the people a rated R Wolverine movie before he was, you know, he ended his
and that was rated R. That was more rated R than Deadpool. I'm sorry, but it was
really violent.
Fucking violent and bloody.
I'm talking limbs are flying off left and right. Like every time he's fighting, someone's getting something chopped off.
I know.
And we were like, every time it was happening, we were like, woo, let's go.
Everybody was freaking out. I was like,
oh, look at that guy's head fly off. We were so pumped because we were excited to actually see that happen. Because, you know, ever since Wolverine was on screen, you know, you always thought back to the more violent Wolverine comic books. And he's such a just vicious character. You know, there's always somebody getting stabbed in one of his fights. You just never really saw that. The first time we saw Hugh Jackman as Logan or as Wolverine was back in 2000 for the first X-Men movie.
Yes.
That was
that's literally the first time I ever saw this.
17 years ago. It was in 2017. He's been Wolverine since the beginning.
He still could be Wolverine. Okay.
He's been the only Wolverine. There's always been like 5 different Batmans, different Supermans, different Spider-Mans.
He's literally been.
He's the only Wolverine, and I'm sure if there's going to be a replacement, they're gonna have a hard time accepting it because
I mean, at this point, just continue with the girl, because the girl.
Oh Lord! Well, might as well, since we're on the topic of
X-23. Exactly.
What's her name? The actual actor.
Daphne King is her name. Yeah.
Daphne King. So she is of Spanish origin. She did a great job in this movie.
Her mute self did a good job.
She was hilarious. Yeah. Some of the best scenes in this movie were just seeing her interact with Wolverine, the way they did.
Yeah, it was mostly like a father-daughter thing. You know, when you're like, I guess if people could relate, like when you have like, you're like bumping heads into dad and shit like that.
For sure.
That a lot of scenes are like that, and it makes you laugh. You're kind of like, oh, it's cute.
It was hilarious.
And sometimes you're like, damn, my dad is like that. He's such a fucking asshole.
The thing was, he just at this point in his life just does not give a shit anymore, and he's still just like, fuck it.
You don't blame him.
So
I don't blame him.
When she is dropped in his lap, he's like, really, like, I don't want to deal with this shit right now. And she's just trying to find acceptance in him because she's trying to create that relationship with him.
Yeah.
But by far the best acting I've ever seen in a superhero movie. Everyone was on point with, you know, the comedy, with the dramatic scenes. Just every single time there's a dialogue, I thought it hit it on the nose. We have Patrick Stewart back in the role of Charles Xavier, Professor X, and he's in a very, you know, diminished state of mind right now.
Which was funny because I kind of figured that's what they were gonna do with him. It kind of makes sense because, I mean, think about it. Like if you have a character that has the most powerful mind in the world, what will be his weakness? When he gets old, he gets senile. I think that was so fucking beautiful. It makes
100% sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That'd be the only thing that would affect him and make his powers go haywire, because basically everything, all his powers are just, telekinesis. This takes place a lot farther in the future, so past the point of Days of Future Past. Yes. So if you've seen that movie, you know Logan changes the future, like this dystopian future where the Sentinels are ruling and killing all the mutants. And when he comes back after changing it, he's like everyone's still alive. They completely reset the timeline, so nothing that happened in the X-Men: The Last Stand exists.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, pretty sure none of that. Well, I'm assuming.
And this takes place how much longer after that? Like 6 years or something like that?
This thing is confusing there because it says it takes place in 2029, and Days of Future Past. He wakes up, like when Days of Future Past starts, it's in 2025. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
So for me, we'll break it down real quick. I feel like 4 years for that to happen, that's kind of like, really? You woke up and 4 years later, everything went to shit? I think that makes no sense. I think what happened was when he fixed everything, when he wakes up at the end of Days of Future Past, he wakes up in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
That way you have a big ass gap of all the shit happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just my theory. I don't know if it. But yeah, overall, the movie is
fantastic.
You gave it a perfect 10, I believe.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I know people are going to laugh at that because I like giving out high scores a lot, but this one really deserves it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I give it like a 9, 8, but because there's some things I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
There's some things that I was like, you kind of did not explain too much, so but the story was good.
Every action scene, every comedy scene, every dramatic scene, everything was on point to me. And it just really resonated with me. It's one of my favorite superhero movies for sure.
They all did their part. I mean, Hugh Jackman on his last portrayal of Wolverine, Logan, he did an awesome job.
For sure.
Literally, like, it's so sad because he's just like, no more Logan, unless they recast him. But nobody cares about the new actors, though.
Yeah, no.
We just want him again. And yeah.
All right. So now at this point in the video, we're gonna do something a little different. We usually don't like to put spoilers in our reviews, but there's so much to talk about that we want to get off our chest.
Yeah.
That we want to do like a little spoiler section. So do not watch after this point. All right.
All right, bitches. We're about to fucking spoil the shit out of this movie, okay? Steven, you start first.
Okay, so his daughter is X-23. It's the little girl that you see in the trailers. Her name is Laura. So she's basically.
Why is she the daughter? Because in the comics, it's a clone.
Well, not exactly. I did my little some research today.
You did your research, okay.
So I saw her origin story. She is, in fact, his daughter because a woman bared her. She wasn't built in a test tube. There was actual women. There's a woman that was impregnated with his DNA.
The more you know.
She
I thought she was a clone.
she bared her for 9 months and had a baby.
So basically.
She had a regular birth, for sure.
So
it was just his DNA that was implanted to her into this woman. And
that's sperma.
I mean,
genetically.
But yeah, so it's really his daughter. It's not a clone. So yeah, so because of that, in the movie you see that the nurses that have been taking care of these kids, because it's not just her, it's a group of kids that have been created using other mutants' powers. And you kind of start getting references to other X-Men characters because you see them use ice powers. Kid had like nature powers like Storm does.
Yeah.
Someone had like Jean Grey powers.
Yeah, damn, what's his kid's name? I forgot his name, but I know which one he's talking about.
Yeah, the girl with Jean Grey powers. So what we're starting to see and what we're getting at, our little theory creating.
Our little theory,
is that they were trying to create the X-Men again, but as an evil X-Men group to try to militarize it. And so at the end of the movie, Wolverine dies, basically. And
this is the spoiler part.
This is the spoiler part. He dies. They bury him, and they go off, and they're gonna go to Canada because that's where they think it's safe for now. But I really want to see a movie where these characters grow up and become the future X-Men.
Well, they could. The No Mutants.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Because pretty much,
I'd be really down for that. This would be a fresh take, something new. It'd be like a gritty reboot, or gritty continuation.
Because think about it. By the time they do this movie, the girl Daphne King, she's 12 now.
Yeah. So
let's say the movie takes 3 years. She's gonna be 15, 16. So there will be old enough to, start being.
Yeah.
They'll look old enough.
And she's already a fucking badass at 12.
I know.
She's over here chopping people's heads off.
Yo,
it
remind me of that girl from Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, this is like these little girls chopping heads and shit. It's annoying.
And I love watching her and Logan interact because, again, like she was trying to get his acceptance because these nurses were basically showing the kids the comic books, the X-Men comic books that they made based off of their life.
Their life, yeah.
And I'm sure the nurses were implanting in her head, hey, this guy is your dad. So she knew from the start who he was. She always knew that was her dad. And you know, when she started meeting him, she tried to get his acceptance, and I thought that was really cute and like a really interesting scenario, because Wolverine kept pushing her away, because at this point Wolverine is afraid to love and get attached to somebody, because everyone that he gets attached to usually dies, and he admits that in the movie.
And he's fucking dying anyway, so what's the point of getting attached to somebody?
But as he's dying, there's a very emotional scene where, you know, she's next to him and he's dying, and he's like, "This is what it feels like." He never knew. He always watched everyone die in front of him. He finally knew how it felt to die, like that feeling of sinking away. And
yo, for real,
it was really sad. Like I shed a tear.
Yo, for real, that is so sad.
Not only are you seeing one of your favorite characters die, it's the end of a chapter of somebody who's been portraying this role for 17 years.
That's it.
Ever since we were little kids. So it's like, wow, it's really deep and profound, and that scene really, it spoke to me a lot, because it's more than just him dying. It's the end of that's it. It's like the end of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. That character. Yeah,
which again, because you literally think about it, you grew up with this character. I was 10 years old when I first saw the X-Men movie, and dude, I'm 27 right now, so it's kind of like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. No more. Like, no more Hugh Jackman being Wolverine. He did it, and what I like about this movie is that they didn't end it where, oh, he didn't die. He just went and he's living his life. He's gonna die eventually, because a lot of movies do that just in case, like the studio, no, we gotta make another one, we'll give you more money, so the character comes back. No, they said, fuck this, he is done, no more.
Yeah, they really stuck to it.
So they stuck to it, and I'm very proud of it. I'm sad, but it's like, damn, I don't know.
And then you had some nitpicks that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, there's some nitpicks. Like, I know it's based off Old Man Logan. Again, it's based off it, but there was things that. But the whole movie is not even based off it, because the only things that we have there in Old Man Logan, which I will know because I literally just finished reading the comics, like I'm fresh off of it. It's in the wastelands, which, you know, it's in New Mexico and all that, which is clearly the wastelands.
Yeah.
He's old, pretty much. Like, he's literally old. He's like, his body's not used to it, and pretty much it. Like, there's nothing else. Like, the Reavers, they're not in the comic books. Like the
yeah, you just don't like the fact that there was not.
There was nothing.
Old Man Logan comic book in the
There
movie.
was nothing. Like, I thought at first, like, because with spoilers on the comics, like, he literally kills all the X-Men.
Yeah.
And there was parts in the movies where, like, we're trying to, like, everybody wants to know what happened to all the fucking X-Men. Like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, that's another mystery in the movie. We had a hard time finding out what happened to everybody else.
Yeah.
Because there was a point in the movie where Charles Xavier was talking about an incident that happened, and he was blaming himself.
Yeah, I thought.
So we were thinking, did he accidentally, you know,
I
his
thought,
mind explode everyone?
That's what I thought. I thought, oh shit, they actually twisted around. Instead of Logan killing everybody, X killed everybody, which I think that's pretty much.
But then, not too much longer after that,
Xander Rice, the villain.
Yeah, they claim that he was the reason.
Yeah, because he's the one who created the serum, and he fucking killed all the X-Men. So it's kind of like, Jesus Christ, like. Those are the little nitpicks I have, but I mean, again, overall the movie was great. Caliban was pretty good in the movie.
Caliban was good.
Yeah.
You'll remember him from X-Men Apocalypse.
Is it Apocalypse? Yeah, it's Apocalypse.
He
recruits mutants.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good. But yeah, I mean, again, this movie, it doesn't feel like an X-Men movie because there's literally no.
It's just Wolverine.
It's just Wolverine.
This is a Wolverine movie.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's set in the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
And a great send-off to this character. Hugh Jackman will be missed. I want to see this movie again because I fucking loved it.
Yeah, this movie is good. This is one of those movies that you will keep watching. You will keep liking. I love it.
Yep.
I enjoy the movie.
All right, guys. So that was our review. Hope you like it. Like and subscribe if you want to see some more.
Some more.
We're gonna catch you on the next video. All right. Peace out.
See you guys.